2 of our doubleheader. So come back to Brandon Bass here, or rather Baron Davis for a second, Hubie. I thought Mike D'Antoni told us something very interesting about Davis yesterday. He said he's almost too intelligent. He sees the difficult pass in addition to the easy pass, and sometimes it's the reason he commits a lot of turnovers.
Well, we make a lot of statements about the great players at their position because their vision is terrific and they're seeing the game in slow motion. And he sees a lot of that. So sometimes, though, when he overpasses,
like
like right now, right on cue, by the way. Okay. So one of his videos, all right, that he's putting together. But no, but the key is that just don't try to make the sensational play now as you're getting yourself back into game shape, leg shape, and then learning your new teammates.
4th turnover of this first quarter for the Knicks. Pierce, who was hot early, has missed his last 3 shots. Anthony gets the rebound. It's going to be Boston ball. In the old days, it would have been a force out.
Yeah, well, in the old days, yeah, that's why Carmelo Anthony would like to have a foul.
Right.
Okay. Now we also know that sometimes a little push there, that was enough. It was enough.
Counting on the drama to draw the call, but Scott Foster would not be fooled.
Yeah, I like the strategy here. They're going to go at Novak, make him play both ends.
Brandon Bass doing it, missing it, and Jared Jeffries in for the Knicks. Except for Anthony, the Knicks have their 2nd unit in the lineup now.
Now this group out here right now can defend, okay? Now for the Knicks, now you're going to see it right now. They play excellent defense. They run on the fast break. They're totally unselfish. And the big thing is you've got to get back in transition because this unit is quick in the open floor.
Knicks started the game with a 5-0 run. Boston responded with 12 in a row, and you see the Knicks have scored the last 8.
Now your clock is down here.
Bass working off the wing, and that's going to go the other way. As you said, Hubie, this is a unit that does such a good job on the defensive end, and Jared Jeffries draws the 2nd on Brandon Bass.
Well, let's face it, when they made the run, you know, with Jeremy Lin and this group, it's the unselfishness defensively, giving up their bodies.
It's fantastic.
Yes, it's very impressive.
Sure is, Arthur. You know what else is impressive? The 2012 Kia Optima. It's got class-leading horsepower and...
On that day, Ashley Judd stars in her first leading role for network television. ABC's missing. She's a mom desperately searching for her kidnapped son, but she has a secret. Used to be an operative for the CIA. So that's Missing, March 15th. It debuts here on ABC at 8 Eastern and Pacific, 7 Central. Iman Shumpert joining the 2nd unit on the floor for the Knicks. And you take a look at the first-year Knicks. Many guys who are making significant contribution, Hubie. Very new look on this team this year.
Mike, there are 9 new guys out of 15. And we all know that the perimeter game with Novak and J.R. Smith has been exceptional. And then when you put Shumpert out there as a guard with Novak and Smith, you have some excellent pressure defensively and the transition game.
Shumpert, the rookie from Georgia Tech, who started making a name for himself with the Knicks in that Christmas Day opener at the Garden. He also got injured in that game, but he's bounced back from that and another injury this year to have a very decent season. 6th among rookie scorers at 10 points a game. 21 in blue, Iman Shumpert, now trying to guard Paul Pierce.
Yeah, they'll exploit this. They'll force you to double team.
Petrus got Barron in the air. Missed the 2, and Brandon Bass outfought J.R. Smith for the board. Again, same deal. That's a foul on Chris Wilcox, holding the arm of Jared Jeffries, a Boston foul, as we hit the 2-minute mark in the first quarter.
Well, we told you that Petrus is an excellent three-point shooter. And when he's out on the floor, he's going to attempt at least 4 or 5 a game. He'll hang out on that perimeter area. So you have to be cognizant of it. Now, he's not going to stop shooting, mainly because he's a 37 to 40% shooter every single year that he's in the league behind the three-point line.
Kevin Garnett has to go out for a second on the sub because you have to wait for the first Jared Jeffries free throw to make the substitution. So Jeffries will come to the line for one. We need another Celtic down here for rebounding. Now we're all set. So former Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana a dozen years ago, Jared Jeffries has one more coming. And we've got 3 more games coming in addition to the Heat and Lakers on ABC. Our NBA Sunday will continue over on ESPN with Chicago, best record in the East, taking on the leaders in this Atlantic Division, Philadelphia. And then Denver taking on San Antonio. So a great 4 games for you on the networks this week. Jeffries got them both in a good run by the Knicks. 10 straight, 8 of them at the line, Hubie, to take a 1-point lead.
Well, I like that. You know, Knicks are in the top 7 getting to the line. You know, they get there at least 25 times a game, and I think that will even improve as we march through the rest of the season.
It's deflected by J.R. Smith. On the run out, Smith.
This is what we told you is going to happen. This second unit is extremely quick. They force a lot of turnovers, and they're excellent in the open floor. Good three-point shooters. Now, they don't have an inside game, but you have to play them off the dribble.
Garnett trying to find Wilcox inside. Has the size advantage in there. Got the hoop over Iman Shumpert. Back to a 1-point game.
Well, the Celtics have got to watch the Knicks in the switching. When they switch and there's mismatches, the Celtics just take your time and find the mismatch.
Davis creatively finds Jared Jeffries inside. And Mike D'Antoni has not been shy about saying, in practice over the last couple of days, as the Knicks have had 3 days off, this second unit is not just giving the first unit a run for their money, they're beating them quite often. Rondo, wrap around to Garnett. Pierce up high to keep the trip alive for the home team.
You see, this is where Rondo does an excellent job. He reshapes them up, and then they're going right in there to take advantage of this matchup right there.
As Pierce attacks the rim and has 10 points in this first quarter.
Mike, that's smart basketball. Look and see where you got the advantage. Oh, Barron, you got to shoot that.
Novak instead bangs another 3 from the quarter. He shot nearly 50% in the month of February from 3.
Yeah, now Barron was in there for an easy layup, Mike. He could have laid it up. Now, I know he found Novak, and Novak is shooting in the last 3 games. Novak is shooting over 61% in threes. Now, that is really a handful.
A foul was on Novak, but the Knicks had a foul to give. There's the 3 out of the corner for Steve Novak in his 6th year out of Marquette. You see how often he has taken shots behind the 3-point line. He's only, Hubie, 14 of 27 shooting 2-pointers this season.
Mike, when you look at what he's doing, that the shot clock down in the majority of his shots, there's so much pressure on him to shoot that high percentage. I see the Knicks are switching in a lot of situations.
Keon Dooling fresh off the bench. Knocks down a 3. No fouls to give for Boston here in the final 2 seconds. Petrus, the defense. J.R. Smith, the fling at the end of the quarter. A series of stretches of good plays by each team. Early run by the Knicks, responded by Boston. 12-0 run toward the end of the first quarter for New York. After 1 in New England on a Sunday afternoon, it's the Knicks 29 and the Celtics 27.
Schmitty! Your mother told me that you are undercover.
Now's not a really good time.
Are you undercover right now?
Yes, I will straight up punch you in the face if you do not shut up.
Oh, hey, yo.
Break, contemplating your rotations with your newfound depth. What's your strategy on how you'll rotate today?
Well, you know, we're just trying to get everybody on the floor, get them comfortable. Sometimes foul trouble, like when Jeremy got in foul trouble, will dictate a lot of things. And then if they play well, they play extra time. If not, then we try to switch it up. Speaking of Jeremy sitting with 2 fouls, Baron Davis gave you a lot of minutes in that quarter, but also had 3 turnovers. What's your message to him about how risky he should be? Well, he has 3 turnovers, but he's probably got 8 or 9 assists, or at least leads the easy basket. So we'll take the turnovers every once in a while. That won't happen a whole lot with Baron. He did a phenomenal job. Mike, thank you.
Thank you, Heather. 4 assists for the record for Baron Davis in that first quarter. Garnett's the only starter to begin the second for Boston, as the Celtics are down by 2. Avery Bradley, the second-year point guard out of Texas, is checked in. We mentioned Keon Dooling at the end of the last quarter. Chris Wilcox, Mikel Petrus, and Kevin Garnett in for Boston. Celtics had lost 7 of 8 before the All-Star break and won the first 3 after the break, and trying to get a couple here at home before their long road trip Sets it. Novak free. Right it down. Steve Novak bangs another three.
You just love it because everyone looks for him. Once they beat you off the dribble and they get the double team rotation, they'll look for him out on the perimeter.
J.R. Smith coming down to defend Kevin Garnett, and we have a foul first on the Knicks.
Now just keep an eye on Novak as a trailer. See, he's a perfect trailer. Now once you go down inside and you skip past back out, he's the odd man out. Now in the last 3 games, he has been 5 for 8, 4 for 5, 5 for 10. He was 14 for 23 coming into today. And remember, he's just like Jeremy Lin. You know, for 22 games, he wasn't getting much action. And now, since that period of time, he's averaging over 13 points, but his three-point shooting has just been off the charts.
Lin is back in with his 2 personal fouls. Ray Allen banged by Iman Shumpert, and a chance for the three-point play for Allen on his first shot of the game.
You're going to see it up here right now. One thing you do not want to do, you do never want to foul Ray Allen, mainly because of the fact that, sure, he's shooting right at 91% for the season. Right? He's 6th all-time in the history of foul shooting. He shoots it at 89% plus for his career. Then we all know that he broke the record of three-point field goals made because he's right at 2,682 coming into today's game.
Exactly 40% career three-point shooting in addition to his season numbers you see there. Lin back in, and the foul called on Avery Bradley as we have 3 quick whistles to start this second quarter. I want to ask you about what Heather asked Mike D'Antoni about, and an issue that the Knicks have to deal with, and that is how often do you play your second unit? Your teams were known during the years for always playing a second unit. There are coaches who don't like to play a second unit on a regular basis. This Knick group has to figure this out because they're very good with this collection on the floor, including Lin, who's on the score sheet.
No, you're absolutely right, Mike. Some guys like to rotate 8, some guys like to rotate 9, and now because of the scheduling, a lot of people are rotating 10. But what it has to be then is your starters have got to understand less minutes, you'll still get them the same amount of shot attempts. That's the key if they are primetime scorers. The big thing is can you win? The main thing is to win the games, save your guys physically so that when you run into the heavy schedule, like right here, let's face it, Jeremy Lin in the first 13 games that he started was getting 35 to 40 minutes night in and night out. Well, now with Baron Davis back, his minutes will drop down probably 32 to 34 if he stays out of foul trouble. But then what happens with that? You get less shot attempts, so the points will go down. But when you are all about winning, you don't care about that. It's all about winning.
Knicks have 17 points off the bench so far, and one of their starters comes back in right now, and that's Amari Stoudemire, as Garnett is at the line for his second free throw. The one part of that, Hubie, is do the big names and the big stars support what's going on, and what we've seen so far can simply be defined by the word joy. There's a lot of joy in the way the entirety of the Knicks team has played. Now, the other 3-letter word, win, has a heck of a lot to do with joy, but we've seen them buy in the stars to these guys and their performance. Lin from behind, Petrus with the foul, and Lin's drawn a couple of fouls here since coming back in the game.
Now, I want to talk about Bradley a little bit. He's in his second year out of Texas. Now, the big thing about Bradley, I talked to a number of guys here today in this building who have seen an awful lot of point guards. They think he's one of the best defenders on the ball to come into this league since Michael Cooper from the Los Angeles Lakers. When I heard that, I said, wow. I said, that's some compliment of on the ball.
Bradley's offensive portion of the game not there yet. Iman Shumpert, short, knew it, got it, put it back in.
Now that's athleticism. Now let's face it. He released that shot, hit the floor, went right back up, received the ball, and was able to put it in.
There's Bradley showing you I have offensive game. He averages 4 points a game in his 33 that he's played. And he had to feel some pressure when Rondo was injured in January. He had to play some significant time with Garnett and Pierce and Ray Allen, and we saw the education like we did with Rondo a few years ago. Amari Stoudemire answers for the Knicks.
That's what you like about Jeffrey's game. Jeffrey's an intangible type of a guy. He's not a big scorer. He set up Stoudemire on that with a beautiful penetration and drop-off.